Hey everybody, how you doing? Savage AF is the name of the show. I'm your boy Black Pedro, and that's right here in the corner. If you're on IG, Instagram, short for that. Nobody has time to say whole words, even the made up ones. At Black Pedro, all words are made up. Savage AF is the show. It's just gonna be me today. So if you're not into me, if you just don't want this, okay, fuck you. Get off the goddamn thing now, okay? Shang is traveling today. I didn't quite realize that. I'm not even sure he realized that his schedule was gonna, just conflict with the show today. But it's just me. So if you're here for it, I appreciate you. Wendy, I see you. Christina, I see you. Breezy's, I see you. Queen B, I see you. Thank you so much. Zenat Lynn, I see you. Thanks you. Hey sexy. Hey sexy, back to you. Okay. That's what it is, y'all. Let's do that. Miss Adverb is here. Okay. Okay. Fuck that baby. Okay. No. Okay. The baby already got fucked. Okay. Into this thing. So you need to pay for the baby. Okay. Don't fuck that baby. Pay that baby. Okay. That's what we're doing. All right. Miss No Slick Name. I see you. I didn't get a blowout. I'm just, I'm blown out. Hiding the motherfucker. Sometimes you get high in your hair, just yeah, no, I just kind of just like shaped it like this today, just to be fucking around. Good humor, wasted. I see you, Natasha Jones. Appreciate y'all, man. Chime in. AJ Fit. I see you too, sir. Salute. If Miss Adverb used to be sergeant at arms, we should make AJ Fit just arms. He's just the arms of the show. You don't want it with that motherfucker. Evelyn Gatlin, I see you as well. Okay, so thank you guys for joining us as you usually do Monday through Friday, right here live on YouTube and Facebook simultaneously, which is British for at the same damn time. Mondays and Fridays, typically we're on at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tuesday through Thursday, typically we're on at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Those are the goals. That's the mission. Thank you guys for rocking with us. When we are on and you just can't get with it, hey, sometimes we got shit to do. Shane got shit to do today. He can't be here. Sometimes you got shit to do. Can't be here today. Okay, I get that. But when you can't be here, make sure you're following, the URL, youtube.com/c/SavageAF all one word. That's the YouTube page, and all the shows are archived there. So you can really catch us live not live, but in video archived. So, if you miss it by a couple hours or whatever, next day you want us to be the wake up show for you, wake your ass up with Savage AF, do that. But you can do that on the YouTube page. Make sure you're subscribing and surviving. It's the only way really to live in these streets. We appreciate y'all so damn much. So damn much so that we also want you to be following us on the Instagrams. Make sure you follow at Comedian Shang on Instagram. I'm also on Instagram at Black Pedro. You see it right here. It's really just right there. If you don't see it, if you're just listening to us, that's for a certain reason. But at Black Pedro on Instagram, at Black Pedro. If you can't spell Black or Pedro, I don't want you following me. Like literally, just follow a library to wherever it is and go there and do things like learn words and letters. That being said, if you can't see what we're doing right now because you're listening to us, that's because you're probably catching us wherever you get your podcasts. That's iTunes, Google Play, Slacker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and SoundCloud. Yeah. SoundCloud. You know what it is, y'all. So wherever you get your podcast, you can catch Savage AF. Also, make sure that you catch us. Oh, Archeo Mom, I see you in here. Okay. People are jumping in. I appreciate y'all, man. But yeah, you can catch us wherever you get your podcast, and that's a good, if you like, if you just like the audio, if this shirt gives you motherfucking dyslexia or it's goddamn seizure or whatever, it's all good. I get it. You ain't got to look at the mohawk, if the shark fin. I'm in shark mode. Saying dwee datum dwee datum dwee. Anybody watch? Was it Real World back in the day? No, just me. Okay, whatever. Good humor wasted. I see you. Thank you for laughing. So that being said, it's going to be a slightly shorter show today because it's just Breezy Judges. You get vertigo from my shirt. Is that an official diagnosis, or you just using shit against me? Okay, because usually you're on my side, so I don't want to give you vertigo. If you need to look away from the screen, please feel free. Grab another drink. For those that are doing it, when I get through this wine right here, which I really don't even know what I'm drinking today. Some shit. Yeah, I think it's a Central Coast California Pinot. But I do have some whiskey as well. So we'll get to that later, guys. But that being said, today will be a slightly abbreviated show because these are the days when the comment section is so important, and I'm going to try my best to keep my eyes on it, because I'm going to need your feedback. I'm going to bounce off of that because we don't have Shang today. He's out there doing the Lord's work, and by the Lord I mean the devil. The man is just trouble, and he's out in the streets about to hit the stage. So it's just us today, guys. It's an intimate setting. It's just me, a couple of glasses of things I shouldn't be drinking, and my bar behind me tonight. So that's what it is, guys. It is July 13th, Tuesday. Club is going up. We're going to end today's show, of course, not with the SHANGRY today because he's not here, but we're going to end with a Black Pedro pop-in, and we're going to talk about the variant. I will get much more detailed into that at the end of the show. Please stick around. Before we get into that, one of my favorite segments on the show, we have a motherfucker say what for you today, guys. So you're going to want to stick around for that. The Wall Street Journal describes a new phenomenon among the rich, a new ideology, if you will. Buy, borrow, die. That's the new thing we're getting into. So let's talk about it. But before we get into that, house arrest. Let's talk about how the Texas House has voted to arrest the lawmakers that we talked about yesterday, who have basically fled the state to distance themselves from crackers. But before we get into that, July 13th, 2021. It is a Tuesday. I'm Black Pedro. Comedian Shang will be back with us tomorrow, I am sure. Of course, there's a dog barking outside. One of feisty guy. You can tell it's a little dog too. It ain't that. It's not that. The grumble, the growl. It's that. That upper pitch. Toto-esque. Beautiful, cute dogs. Just come on, guy. What's with the noise, man? Come on. We could step on you. Let's not do that. Beaches ain't shit. We're going to start today's show talking about the fact that 17 million gallons of ass juice has leaked, spilled, defiled, I should say, and befuddled, and defunkified, or buffunkified, or stunked up. Just, nigga, we shit in the ocean. LA's largest waste facility, actually West is that way, has had a major leak, and 17 million gallons of human ass juice has leaked out into the Southern California beaches. Okay. And, just as motherfuckers thought they could reopen and get back to the beach, ass juice on your beaches. That's what Breezy JJs. You better hold that in. Don't let that, okay, I see Breezy JJ did, but not Naya Knight, I appreciate you. You got to hold that in, girl. Okay, that's just the way we live as humans, as Americans, okay? We are filthy and we have no appreciation for our environment. The bowl. There is an invisible dome globe that we live in, right? Like there's this shield between us and just flying off into nothingness. We should really appreciate the fucking space that we live in within the universe. The universe is as chaotic as you think these streets of LA or Detroit or New York or, Kentucky might be. The universe itself, just based on the laws of physics, there's no air once you go past a certain point. Richard Branson got up to like the sort of the inner edge or the outer edge of space or whatever. Just got some weightlessness in, recently. But you can't breathe up there, bro. We can breathe right here. We should probably take care of this place. We get food and life from the ocean, and other species live there, and we should probably not use it as our ass bucket waste dump. This was an accident, a spill. But I don't know if you guys remember, we saw a couple weeks ago, there was literally a ring of fire in the middle of the ocean. Looked like Thanos had landed in the Bahamas or some shit. But there was a gas leak under the ocean, and it caught fire, and there was like just a typhoon, a cyclone of fire in the middle of water, like fire in water. It's a weird thing. Breezy JJ's asks, who's going to clean it up? Hot. One of my problems with dog ownership is that it's picking up the shit. So, this is it's a shit job. This is a really shitty job. Like when you have, what kind of shit is this, or who shit is this? Like it's the worst shit always has this, kind of superfluous meaning where it's just everything. You could be like, "Ooh, there's some good shit, best shit I ever had," at a restaurant, or you could be like, "Man, this shit right here." You know what I mean? God damn, what kind of shit is it? Like, man, this shit is hurting my heart. It means so many things. But in this case, we mean literal ass nuggets. You're all the chunky monks that you done chewed up this week that got processed through your gutter butters. Yeah, man, that's out in the ocean right now in California, at least in LA. This is LA's largest waste management facility, and they just went ass out on the whole thing. And I already, in the 22 years that I had been out here, understood the LA beaches to be, some of the filthiest I'd ever seen them in my life, to the point in which I've only dipped my toes in there. I got up about thigh high once for a commercial shoot for American Express. And that was just, part of that gig. But other than that, any kickings at the beach were many kicks away from any ocean waves, because that water is filthified. And now it is just confirmed that we just dumped a goddamn ass stew, a motherfucking, dung nugget, goddamn curry sauce into the, and shit comes in so many shades that it's like brown, green, red, that little bit of yellow, that high yellow on some of them days, I'm, hot shit. It's everybody from LA's shit now that is. And Venice Beach, by the way, had already become over the pandemic, a one of the worst tent cities probably in the world, but definitely in the city and in the area. And that's how we're living out here, guys. At the same time, we're going through this drought and heat wave and a need to conserve water, while contaminating, the sort of natural resource of the water that we have. This water could be desalinized and used one day, but if we're shitting in it, I mean, you got to do a whole lot of, you got to desalinize it, you got to de-acify it, de-shitify it, de-dead bodyify it. It's just, there's a lot there, man. So, but just wanted to throw that out there, guys. Like, as we open back up and everything's going back to normal, understand that normal means shit in the ocean, shit sea, right? You see, the shit got sea in it, so you should be able to see the shit when it's in the sea, when you go to the sea and shit in the sea. So just don't go to the beach, is what I'm saying, guys. It's pool time this summer in SoCal, because it's like miles long. It's going from like LA down to San Diego up to Malibu. Like, you can't really fucking, yeah, pool time, guys. Savage AF, fuck your feelings. It's our motto. When I say our motto, I mean, you usually mean that Comedian Shang is here with me. Follow him at Comedian Shang on Instagram. Follow at Savage AF Radio on Instagram. Let me get that to crawling across the thing. Ooh, I should go here, actually. But yeah, make sure you're following at Savage AF Radio. Boom, boom, boom. Here he goes. On Instagram. That's where we are, man. I'm going to keep it moving because it's just me, Black Pedro. Thank y'all for rocking with me today, man. I appreciate y'all so much. AJ Fitz said, hospitals will be full of Californians with pink eye. Bo, that's exactly how you get conjunctivitis, which is the clinical term for pink eye, or what you might call stink eye, because it's literally when you get like fecal matter in your eye, shit in your eye. Okay, so for all you freaky deakies out here, like, yeah, shit on me, it's pink eye, nigga. Might get pink chest, pink throat, like, get out of there. Let me see. Miss Adverb said, if you ask Caitlyn Jenner, it's all the fault of the homeless, and the homeless just need to be relocated. It's the problem with homelessness and the bitches, Caitlyn Jenner. They already ain't, they're not located. So how you gonna relocate somebody that ain't located? That's literally what homeless means. Is like, you ain't located. I have no locale to go to. Like, am I tripping? Yeah. I've been drinking. Thank you, Beyonce, for letting us know. Okay. Yeah, officer, I've been drinking. But God damn it, don't it mean that when you are homeless that you ain't located? So how the fuck you gonna relocate me, nigga? I ain't located. I'm sorry. Let me take a sip. I've been drinking. My feelings came out. I didn't mean for them to. I really, because the motto of this show is "fuck your feelings," and I didn't mean for it to get that serious. Yes, but the beach situation in LA, I would say, is thoroughly fucked for the summer. so much for that, guys. The pools are going to be full of now kid shit, because some kid's gonna shit in the pool, and then that pool shut down for the summer, and then it's gonna be like 7 pools left in the city by August, when it's at its hottest and most fire ass. I need to get my ass in some water. And instead of getting your ass in some water, you're going to get in some ass water. I'm done with that topic, guys. Speaking of ass water, the state of Texas. That's hell of a transition, guys. We probably lost a lot of listeners and viewers on that one. But Texas, I love you. El Paso's the first place I ever did a true road gig. like leaving the state of California as a professional comedian to venture out and make dollars. That was with Shang, so appreciate that. Shout out to Shang for that. So I have much love for the state of Texas, just not everything that you do or the way you do it. The other day we celebrated the Texas state representatives who left the state in order to vacate their duty, honestly, to participate in the quorum to vote on a voter rights bill that would be suppressive to blacks, brown, subjugated demographics, right? Disadvantaged demographics, I should say. Now, in retaliation of that, Governor Jim, is it Jim or Greg? I think it's Greg Abbott, whatever. Jim Abbott, Governor Abbott of Texas. Mr. I can't walk out on anything anyways. So, I'm going there because fuck that guy. He was calling for this sort of action, and now the Texas House is voting to arrest these AWOL, if you will, for lack of a better term, lawmakers who I admit, Stacey Patterson, I see you. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for being late. Thank you for getting up on that poll, girl. No, I'm just joking. There's really no polls anymore, Lies. All right, you just shake where you are, and we appreciate it. Send pictures later. But yeah, there's these lawmakers they are delinquent of their duty. Okay. And I'm not getting back to the shit in the water. So I don't mean that kind of duty. I mean, DUTY, their duty, not duty. But by walking out, they are not fulfilling their, voted upon task, right? Which is they were elected to participate in this process. Okay. Knowing they don't have the majority, they know that if they participate in this process, this voter rights bill that is suppressive, oppressive, and racist, antiquated, a lot of adjectives for this. It's it'll go through. It will pass. This will happen. Voting will be harder in Texas if we participate in this vote. So they bounced. Somebody chartered a couple, or at least one. No, I think a couple of chartered flights, private flights for them, and they bounced from the state, and they're now in Washington D.C. trying to do something about it. But yes, they've avoided their duty. They're playing hardball, like we said, like they're playing the Republicans' game against them, like we said yesterday. So I'm happy to see that. But now the retaliation is obviously arrest them, which is just leaning in harder to the fascist nature of their voting rights initiatives in the first place, which are to suppress votes, keep populations from participating so that they can control the shit, so that it's just them running this shit. And, the idea of arresting those who do anything to get in the way of that is just indicative of that ideology that, yes, we're on some fascist shit. I'm the boss. This is how it's going to be. Let's go. So happy to see these lawmakers fight this shit, but whew, it's going to that next level now, where it's like, all right, now they want these people rounded up and on a fire in front of a firing squad. There are legislators out there who have talked about this idea of, well, the back of the day, they used to have a firing squad. It's like, Yeah, there used to be a lot of things back in the day that we should never fucking do. Let me see. Oh, sorry. I want to go to Naya Knight. I am done with this government. They did that voter suppression bill here in Georgia, stripping rights from voters here in Georgia. Yeah, it's don't well. I don't know if this is comforting or not, Naya Knight. Sorry, but you're not alone. So, within our oppression, we've constantly had to find solace in the fact that, hey, it's not just me that's getting my ass kicked and throat stepped on and backlashed. It's it's all of us. Yay. So there are a lot of states that are going through these fights. Um, Georgia, to be honest, was, a sort of catalyst for this Republican backlash because they lost. They lost in Georgia last time. They lost the presidency. They lost both Senate seats. They lost hard on the national level. And when they do that, they lean in. And I don't mean to depress you, Naya, but that's just what it is. When you win in the South, when you win in America as black people, I don't even mean to call the South out anymore because I'm from racist ass cracker monkey, Michigan, Detroit. And Indiana is a hotbed bastion and always was of KKK, foundings and ideology and practice. So it's really a nationwide problem, in the deserts between LA and Vegas that I travel often. That's no man's land for black people. Should not be out there at all. So you're just in one of many places that are under attack right now, and going back to this archaic Jim Crow mentality and legislature, and that's it. That's what we're fighting against now. I like the term they've elevated to James Eagle from Jim Crow. James Eagle. It's a more formal presentation, a more powerful and austere presentation that is just like symbolic of these old ways. So let's be aware, and we talk about it on the show constantly. We're going to keep talking about it. Is this idea that, not the idea, the fact that the necessity for action in terms of fighting this voter suppression. Give what money you can to the causes that are dedicated towards fighting these things. They need your money. They do. They really do. $5, $10, $15, whatever you can do, give it. We put in on a lot of things. Let's put in on this. Naya Knight says it's becoming the wild, wild west. Get wild. Get in the streets. That doesn't mean put yourself in physical danger or jeopardy, other than being in the streets and being black and voicing yourself. But I'm not encouraging you to fight with any authority or authoritative figure. But yes, get into the streets and let them see your body. If you're like me and that's not really your way of expressing it, find some way. This is my way. One of my ways is, I give money as well, but one of my ways is to talk about it, and try and gather an audience around it so that we all can begin to think about these things and think about ways to further causes that benefit us, which ultimately benefits America. But let's see if Texas really gets into arresting lawmakers that are really just doing the things that GOPers do all the time, right? They don't show up when they don't want to. They ignore subpoenas. When court subpoenas, or not court, I should say, Senate subpoenas or congressional subpoenas, and they're like, So I'm happy to see the from the Texas House lawmakers, and they are truly being brave, because these Nazis, these other guys, are going to come after them. Savage AF, man. Make sure you go to and I'm just gonna do this verbally real quick. I'm not even gonna bring up the imagery, because lazy ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? But make sure you're on Amazon and you catch SHANGRY. Fantastic comedy special. Your boy kills it every time. And this is just like quintessential Shangism. He has his own brand of emotion, SHANGRY. And then you can go to theblackpedro.com/shop and cop that Black Pedro Begins. It's an audio album, for your listening pleasure. Just something to fall asleep to. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. Taking a bath, you want to relax? This ain't it. It'll get your things going. But let's go. You know what it is. SHANGRY. Black Pedro Begins. I'm going to get into our next segment. A little something like this.
Motherfucker say what? Yeah. Motherfucker say what? Say yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man. So, and I'm gonna go through this one quickly. I'd like for you guys to go out there and search it and read it for yourselves and take it in. But the Wall Street Journal, that's what WSJ stands for, article up that buy, borrow, die is the sort of new lifestyle of the rich. Buy, borrow, die sounds like a 50 Cent album, right? Die rich, or get rich, die trying. Buy, borrow, die. Nigga, you got $5. It's like it sounds very hip hop. The Locks, I could even see releasing an album called Buy, Borrow, Die. But in reality, some of America's most wealthy people are, honestly living truly off of this philosophy. What they're actually doing, and I'm just going to read this segment here from this Wall Street Journal article. Please go look it up, guys. Go just take a read for yourself. These are like 5-minute reads, man. It's not going to kill you. For borrowers, the calculation is clear. If an asset appreciates faster than the interest rate on the loan, they come out ahead. And under current law, investors and their heirs don't pay income taxes unless their shares are sold. The assets may be subject to estate taxes, but heirs pay capital gains taxes only when they sell, and only on gains since the prior owner's death. The more they can borrow, the longer they can hold the appreciating assets. And the longer they hold, the bigger the tax savings. Now, me not being the most financially minded guy inherently, but I've tried to take you guys on my journeys into that world. Basically, as far as I can understand, that they are able to take out loans based on their investment accounts, right? And as long as, and right now they are, the market is up for a lot of people in that echelon. As long as their portfolio is gaining a greater percentage than the interest on the loan they take out, they're making money on the loan. Now, I think for most of us, we understand that when you take out a loan, it's eventually gonna cost you money. Night, right? But and again, I'm not, the most financially minded guy, but I think that if you take out a loan based on an asset that's appreciating at a percentage rate that's higher than the percentage, the interest rate on the loan, that you're still winning on the loan. And so understanding interest rates are extremely low right now. And the percentage of borrowers right now based on that interest rate, the greater percentage are the wealthy right now. Like the wealthy they're borrowing against their portfolios at a higher rate, than we've seen in like 20 years. So they're on to something. They know what's up. They always do. But when this came across my thing and I just kind of clicked on and read about it, I was just like, wow, bro. Like, even when they borrow money, they make money. Because it's not like, the thing is, it's not like, okay, so here's the real trick out, as far as I can continue to understand it. It's not like they're borrowing this money to pay off some debt or to invest in something that they might eventually lose at. They're just borrowing the money to live off of. And then it doesn't count as income. So then they don't pay tax on that either. That's the other trick out, I think, as far as I understand it. So you're making money on the loan, living off the loan, and then not paying taxes off the money that you're living off of. Nigga! This is how they get over on us, dog. This is how they kill us, homie. This is how they kill us. This is how they use the system and use all of the programs and the money from the programs for themselves. And it never gets to the people that could actually use it. It never gets back to the middle class who could use these things, these low interest rates, to actually come up and bring themselves up. Bootstraps, right? These would be the fucking bootstraps. And Pamela Knox is like, and then file for bankruptcy. Like at the end of the day, when all that fails, your former president was like a 7-time bankrupt ass nigga, and not just morally. All right. But number 45 or whatever, that motherfucker was Colt 45. He was the Orange Ostrich. That motherfucker was bankrupt like 6-7 times, homie, financially. Still helicopters. How'd that happen? Nigga, I've had times in my life I went bankrupt weekly for several months straight. No helicopters in my life. Nigga was walking. The back of that heel gets lean and then shaved off. Whoa. I've had many a pair of sneakers like that, guys. But these guys don't do that. What they do is find ways to make the money, then borrow the money and then spend that, but never ever actually have to pay it back because the thing they borrowed it against already makes more money than it was worth. And then, man, listen, bro. All I know is we have got to change this game and this system, because otherwise, like I said, the middle class, they're not taking advantage of they're not able to take advantage of these ultra low interest rates that are, supposed to help you come up and get your refi or whatever, no, they're not able to do that because they don't have the resources to pay it back at that interest rate. But when it's based on it's based on the asset itself, right? Like when you refi your home, nigga, the asset is your home. And if you default on that, you lose your motherfucking home. But these people are taking these loans out based on their stock portfolios and their asset portfolios, a larger folder of things that are constantly growing at a rate that will ultimately, as they see it, won't lose to this, whatever this measly government interest rate is that's meant to help out peasants. But why should we let them have that? I think this is a Central Coast. So Savage AF is our show, but it's also the fucking world we live in. It's also the country we live in. So fuck your feelings. Facts matter. The rich are not just getting richer, but they're doing it off of the shit that we should be getting, which are these low interest rates to buy the homes to get your life fucking started. to get a foot up, so you can, once that value of that property appreciates, because they're no longer putting a goddamn waste dump or a fucking shit juice factory on the coastline and fucking up your property, you can actually, come up in life, right? And it can appreciate in value. You could pass that on to your children. You could borrow against it sensibly to make improvements to increase the value of it, right? So, I don't know what to tell you, man. This is how our system is working right now. This is how the rich are taking advantage of it. I don't have the solutions. I'm working through it myself as an artist, a comedian, an actor, with a bit of a brain. I'm wrapping my head around the financial world, and I'm realizing, wow, these guys play this game in a very different way than we've ever been taught. So I just want you to be wise to that. That WSJ in that banner there, that's Wall Street Journal. Please go to the Wall Street Journal online right now. Buy, borrow, die. That's what they're doing. They don't give a fuck about paying this money back. It won't matter, dog. Like, you know how that's how they buy Rolls Royces and shit now. Before I move on and close out the show, they take out essentially home loans with the 20-year lifespans. These guys aren't dropping 300, 400, 500,000, $600,000 on a car, right? And financing it at dumb rate. Like, no, they're getting lower. Like, they're essentially taking out home loans and using it to pay for Bentleys and Rolls Royces and shit. Like that's been going on. I found that out years ago, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. But just understand that that's being done now to live off of, so that they can avoid income tax and still beat the loan's interest rate itself. So making money that you're not paying for while living off of money that is paying for itself. This is America. I am your boy, Black Pedro. That being said, when I do things, I usually do them a little something like this.
Hey, it's your boy Black Pedro, popping in, hey, with another poppin' to let you know what's poppin'.
Hey, it's your boy Black Pedro with another poppin' to let you know what's poppin'. Oh man, you know what's poppin' is that variant, that Delta variant, man. I personally haven't been worried about it because all of the science so far has shown that those who are vaccinated, especially with the Moderna and Pfizer, are at a far less risk of contracting it or suffering from it severely at all, right? That's like just not really part of the science. If you get vaccinated, you're most likely gonna be good from the original plus the variants. And by now, the Delta variant is the dominant strain. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and say it publicly. I might need to go get a COVID test, y'all. Not because of anything that I did necessarily, because I've followed all of the CDC guidelines and everything that, the state and the county, state of California, county of Los Angeles that I live in and work and operate in have sort of mandated for us to do. I did all of that willingly, sometimes begrudgingly, but for the most part, it's just like, cool. It wasn't a big thing. But once I got vaccinated, I understood that, like, okay, I've done my part to not just protect myself, but protect y'all. But there was this one cat at work in particular who, we knew, like, didn't believe in the virus itself, or didn't believe in the vaccine, I should say. I'm sorry. And was like kind of, nonchalant about, he was just like, so, yeah, I'm vaccinated, right? Like that's all I have. I'm just vaccinated, right? We're good, right? Like, yeah. We're like, nigga, you ain't vaccinated. Like, all right, but whatever. Well, this nigga just came down with COVID. And I don't know how severe it is or whatever, but it's evidence that the virus is back in our restaurant. And I'm not worried about my health, but I could now be a spreader. All because this one nigga just didn't want to get vaccinated. Like, that's why he has it. Most likely is his lack of vaccination. That's where the Delta virus is spreading, or the Delta variant is spreading, is to unvaccinated populations. And now, by being stupid and not vaccinating himself, and he hasn't admitted that he's not vaccinated, but we know. Nigga, I facts matter, but fuck it. Sometimes you just know. Can't prove it, but fuck it. Because he didn't want to get vaccinated. He's, jeopardized the business and the staff and anybody else in his life outside of work. We know he took on another job at a congested, within a congested space, indoor space. None of that is helpful to what's going on. You could do all those things if you're vaccinated, bro, because the vaccination literally says that you're less likely to contract and less likely to spread if you do contract. And if you do contract, less likely to suffer at all or severely. That's what a flu shot gives you the chance of. That's what a bulletproof vest gives you a chance of in a gunfight. It's like, might not save your entire life. Sorry. But probably better that you wear this since they shooting outside. But it's just frustrating to have somebody, who at this point, we all have the chance to be vaccinated. I see Miss Adverb going off. What's she talking about? What's she talking about? Let me see. AJ Fit, I'm going to chime in with y'all a bit. He said, wrong answer, bruh. I know people work on hospitals and 90% of people in ER for COVID got the vaccine. I'm not sure I'm quite understanding that completely. Wrong answer. Work on hospitals and 90% of people in ER. 90% of people in the ER for COVID got the vaccine. That's definitely not a national stat. And I haven't heard anything like that, AJ. Still respect you, bro, all day. But I've heard no national stat of like 90%. I've heard the complete opposite, that 99.5% of new COVID cases are from unvaccinated people. That was a stat I saw the other day. Literally 99.5%. That means that 0.5% of new COVID cases nationwide are from vaccinated people. And of that very, very small percentage of people, the majority of them have a greater percentage of surviving and not suffering a lot. So at this point, like, I'll admit, like, I don't mask up anymore, because I'm vaccinated, and anybody who's in an indoor space without a mask should be also vaccinated, because it's been overly available in this country. And, nothing personal to anybody out here, especially, if you're a regular but don't want to do it. But I can't protect you anymore. I got a life to live. And I'm just trying to say, you're the ones at risk. I'm not saying that this coworker of mine is, I don't know his health state right now. I don't know if he's suffering or if it's just asymptomatic, case. But the reality is, like, none of us at our job should be testing positive anymore. Like, that shouldn't be a thing. Like that in July of 2021, when this shit started in goddamn this November, December of 19, nobody at my job should be getting new cases. We live in Los Angeles City, Los Angeles County, California. We have had vaccines available. We have done all the things. Like, stop, my niggas. And this, by the way, this brother should have been masked up if he wasn't gonna vaccinate. He should have just worn a fucking mask and shield and continue to distance as much as possible. But don't come to the job unvaxxed and then pop up with a case and be like, oh, what the fuck happened? Like, nigga, you did it. You did it. Yeah. Like Miss Adverb says, why was you out raw dogging it, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Don't go to the brothel and be like, oh, I forgot my condoms. Nigga, really? You forgot your condoms? Should have been top of the list. Before directions to the brothel, nigga, condoms. When going, I've never been to a brothel. I don't know, but I just, I'm a prepper. I try to envision a plan for success. And, when going to a brothel, I would imagine condoms would be the first thing I'd put on my list. Condoms, directions, gasoline, and potentially a knife, That's it. A blade. I'd probably write blade. A little old school with that. That being said, guys, man, I almost did a whole show by myself. I think I ran my mouth a bit too much today. People like Arkia Mom, Naya, Pamela, Miss Adverb, pay for this baby, goddammit. All of y'all, man. Pamela Knox, I appreciate y'all so much. Wendy, my love. Do it. Breezy JJ's my love. Nicole, thank y'all so much for riding with me today. Evelyn Gatz, listen, tomorrow I'm sure Shane will be here, and there'll be, just a slightly higher level of witty banter. But I gave you what I had today. Shark fin and all. Okay. Shark mode. But I thank you guys so much for riding with us today. We are Savage AF. We'll be back here tomorrow. And when I say we, even if it's just me or just Shang, or maybe one day we'll just turn on our cameras and have you look at my living room. Nicole Sadler, I appreciate you. Hi back. That's what it is. Okay. But thank you guys for joining us Monday through Friday, YouTube, Facebook, live simultaneously. We will be right back here tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I love you guys. Be safe. I'm out.